Now, the other day, Donald Trump was asked on Meet the Press, hey, who are your military advisors? And he's like, that Bolton guy on Fox News. And he named one other person. In fact, let's go to the tape and find out who it is.
Probably there are two
every
or three.
presidential candidate has a go-to.
Probably there are two or three. I mean, I like Bolton. I think he's tough cookie, knows what he's talking about. Jacobs is a good guy.
You mean Ambassador John Bolton?
Yes.
Bolton. You mean Colonel Jack Jacobs?
Colonel Jack Jacobs is a good guy, and I see him on occasion.
Oh, did I see him on occasion? So then they went and asked Jack Jacobs, wait, are you a military advisor to Donald Trump? Remember, Jack Jacobs is on MSNBC. I know him a little bit. He's kind of a progressive. He's not, wouldn't be advising Donald Trump, right? No, Trump doesn't have any military advisors. He's like, shit, who's on TV? That Hogan's Heroes guy, and then Bolton, and then James Bolton's not a military guy. He was in the State Department. He was a UN ambassador. Okay, I don't know. He keeps talking about war and how we should go to war. I like that guy. Okay, so they go to Jacobs and they say, are you a military advisor for Donald Trump? He says, he may have said the first person who came to mind. I know him, but I'm not a consultant. I'm not certain if he has a national security group of people. I don't know if he does or if he doesn't. If he does, I'm not one of them. He says, look, who knows what anybody absorbs? I'm delighted to hear that he's a fan of MSNBC. In other words, no. And he says, look, I've been to parties where I saw Donald Trump from across the room. I'm glad he's watching me on MSNBC. Are we talking? Am I consulting him? Of course not. I don't know the guy from Adam, basically. Donald Trump's so funny, man. Like, a normal answer would have been, I don't have military advisors yet, but I obviously will. I have my own mind about military strategy, but I will consult others as this campaign goes on. Normal, strategic, smart answer. He's like, yeah, I do. Yeah, that Bolton guy and the Jacobs guy. Yeah, that's it. But didn't you think that they would ask him? And of course, when they ask him, he's like, Donald Trump, what are you talking about? That's awesome. But you know what? You think it'll hurt Donald Trump? Of course it won't hurt Donald Trump. The 25% of Republicans who are now in favor of Donald Trump, they don't give a shit about facts. If you told them, hey, you know what? He made that thing up about Colonel Jacobs advising him, they'd be like, yeah, so what? Who gives a shit? He's going to kick out the Mexicans, right? Yeah, great. I'm in. Colonel Jacobs. Build a wall higher. That's it. I'm out. You know, Trump also reminds me of one other Republican who often said things on TV because they didn't really know what the hell they were talking about, and they just had to throw out some names. And in her case, and in this clip, she couldn't even throw out one name. Remember her?
What newspapers and magazines did you regularly read before you were tapped for this to stay informed and to understand the world?
I've read most of them, again, with a great appreciation for the press, for the media.
But like what one specifically, I'm curious that you...
all of them, any of them that have been in front of me over all these years. I have a vast variety of sources where we get our news to.
Every time I see that, it's painful. Just say New York Times. Just say Wall Street Journal. Move on. Say USA Today. Do say anything. Move on. Just name one thing. Say it. Say it. And Trump didn't make that mistake. He's like, Bolton, Jacobs. Yeah, Bolton's not really military. Jacobs don't know him at all. Who cares? Bolton, Jacobs. Suck it. Let's move on. Oh, Sarah Palin is salivating at the idea of like maybe being Trump's VP. Maybe being in his cabinet. Trump said Sarah Palin might be in my cabinet. Oh, Sarah Palin was like, oh my God. Oh. First, dude, watch yourself. I'm not even kidding. Not even kidding. Partly kidding, but not much.